Got the Blazer back in the shop. Time to do some much needed work on it. Front shocks are leaking like crazy. Need to get those rebuilt. The bushings on the radius arms are wore out. The front end feels like it's going to come out of it. It's time to fix that bedside that I smashed in at Trail Hero in October. So lots to do, so time to go to work. As you can see, these shocks are leaking pretty bad. I've had these for 12 years and it's time. And then I also have new bushings to go in the ends here for the radius arms. So yeah, parts are over here. Sneak peek on the big rock there. There's the caps for the shocks, O-rings for the shocks, and the new bushings. That's it, so time to get it apart. Alright, got the shocks out. Pretty easy to do. This bolt slide out, and then that shock slides out, so piece cake. More or less cleaned up, just to inspect the rod. Everything looks pretty good. The joints amazingly still tight on this side. Yeah, way tight on that side. Wow. The shocks are 12 years old, so I'm really surprised. And the body's still in okay shape. And then this shock, I haven't cleaned it yet, but it looks pretty good too. So. This isn't good. Isn't good at all.
Why?
Can't get this piece right here. It's supposed to end throughout off of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's spinning the whole thing.
Oh, and so that piece will come out with it, or?
No, it's got a clip right here that holds this.
Uh-huh.
And this is just a cover that goes over it. But since the shock's so empty on oil, normally there's pressure on here from being pressurized, that the oil keeps this pushed up tight against the clip.
So what if you put air in it? Will it do it? Help
There's
it?
no oil in the shock.
Oh, because it.
Yeah, it's empty. O-rings on it on that
Other piece.
other piece are so wore out that there's not any friction on those. But it is coming.
Gonna lose all the last little bit of oil in it too.
There we go. I don't think I've ever had one that was quite that bad. But then again, I don't think I've ever had a shock that's leaked this bad either.
I know, left puddles everywhere.
Yep. It holds. Yeah, those shock O-rings are shot. Usually those are up there to get out.
But you're replacing that anyway.
Yeah, I'm replacing that whole head. Okay, these hold about 1.5 quarts. So, what was that, maybe 8 ounces?
I don't know, it came out quick.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Wasn't much. Okay, that's it. You got these whole assemblies here. So it comes with has the cap with the dust seal in it. Carefully slide that on, and then the seal that keeps the oil inside the shocks right there, and a new bushing. This stack of shims right here is for the compression side, and then the piston, and then on top of that, these are the shims for the rebound side. So that right? Yep, that's right. So that goes in. Tighten that down. So we got everything. That's right. And this is the band that goes around the piston that rides and seals against the shock housing. So that one is ready to go back together. Here's the slop part of the whole deal.
What?
You gotta.
I can't stand still.
Don't die over there.
I won't die. I'll just fall down.
Okay.
Fall down, go boom.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna stand back.
yeah, that's a good idea. So on these, you don't want any air in the oil, so you kind of have to overfill them. Squeeze that out. Get the first O-ring to seal. And then take my little vacuum pump. I pulled the core out of this valve. Now I'm just going to pull a vacuum. So I know how much oil I put in it, and I know this is pistons all the way at the bottom. So get this thing sucked down here. In just a second here, it should start. So there's about 15 inches. So.
Oh. Dropping it right now.
Yep. Okay. So now I know that I've gotten all the air out of the shock, and there's no air in the reservoir. As I filled the shock, I let it sit and bubble all the air back out of this, out of the reservoir. So now I'll let this off. Slide that up. Push that down. Snap that ring in. It's all the way in the groove. Floor. Carefully. Push that back up. Now. Gotta be careful not to put too much air in it, because without this piece in, it'll blow that seal out. You don't want to do that, so.
Or have the oil go flying.
Yeah, that would be a big mess. So now I got this little piece of welding rod. Stick in here. Make sure that the piston's where it needs to be. I got a mark right here to show
For yourself.
to know how far down this is the maximum distance I want the piston down, and it's about a ½ inch above that, so we're good. So that puts the piston, top of the piston's right there, so that's perfect.
Okay.
That moves freely. And it does. Now snug this.
What's this mark right here? It's not anything bad. Oh no, gross. Never
It's
mind.
just oil from when I lubed up the seals.
Oh.
Yep. So.
I just want to make sure it wasn't a gouge. I didn't realize I was going to get my fingernails dirty.
Oh yeah. It's better than nail polish any day.
Yeah. For you, maybe.
Lock the set screw down. Okay, shocks are ready to go in. There's that one and that one. So before I put those in, I want to get these bushings replaced on these radius arms. So got the radius arm unbolted off the housing. Ended up being a lot worse than I anticipated. These bushings here are completely trashed, which isn't any surprise. I was expecting that, but this bushing or this joint right here, that's loose, so that's going to have to come apart, get cleaned up, and get tightened. Hopefully the bushings are still in good enough shape. We can get them tightened. And then the upper arm, the bushing here is pretty bad, but this is way bad. It's even worse than the one on the radius arm itself. So I gotta get that all cleaned up. But this one's kind of nice. You just loosen up that set screw, then I can adjust this to put a little bit more pressure in here. So yeah, the stuff still looks really good. Just
Loose.
tightened up. Okay, everything's all cleaned up. Looks good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of silicone lube on these. Put it together. In. Okay.
What's that little pin thing you put through it tool called?
It's a drift. It's tapered.
Yeah.
So made to do that.
Need to drift it where you want it, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Take that. All right, Dusty showed up. Helped with the shocks. That was good timing. For me, maybe not so much for him, but oh yeah, it's always good times. Yep. Alright, that's it. Hey, look. That's a lot better when it works. Okay. See if we can try and fix this big old mess right here on this quarter. So I've had this piece of aluminum. I just took and cut a piece to slide in here with this little eye bolt. So we're going to use a ratchet strap and see what happens. As our anchor to see if we can get this thing to move. You never know how it's all going to work, so we'll just play with it, see what it does.
Yeah, finally gonna pull out that dent. What's Corbin up to?
Just gonna do guard work with this, barely enough to do it.
Just enough to do it, right?
Barely.
Is it with it? Just use the end of the handle.
Yep, just using the end of the handle. Hope it's doing any good though.
Here, you want a video over there for a minute? Stay out of the hammer way. You looking on the screen? See if you can get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, I can't hit it hard enough. Alright, just trying to get last few little spots here on this. I figured it was going to be stretched, but I needed to have all this metal pulled to where it needed to be. I went over to the other side and made a template of this radius at the back of the body just to make sure that I had it close, because it seemed like that's where the metal wanted to be. According to my template, that is pretty much right on the money. Okay, got the shocks bolted in, got the radius arms taken care of, they're all bolted in. The only thing I have to do is I still need to charge the shocks. I'll do that later. But for now I'm just going to pull it out. I got a couple other things I got to get done, and next time you see it, we'll probably be doing the filler work on this bedside. Get it primed and ready to paint. Thanks for watching. See you next time.